Welcome to Brainsqueezereactions. Myself, Mark Actor. What are we reacting to now? Tupac interviews. Tupac interviews. This is what we do on a Sunday. Now, the Tupac interview that I was going to do was one with Sway. Now, the link that was sent to me was taken off completely, and then when I searched, there was all the cut versions of the interview with Sway. So I need someone to do me a massive favor and to send me a new link with the Sway audio on, because I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm not techie minded at all, so I couldn't find it, and that was the one I was planning to do today. So it's fucking frustrating, but there's plenty of others to do. So one of the ones that kept coming up was Tupac outside the courthouse in November 29th, 1994. Now, as far as memory serves me, and from what I'm trying to learn, this was after, was this after the rape charge, or was this after the charge with the police? I'm sure it's going to tell me, and I'll figure that out as we go through, but I've got to try and get my head into the right place. If you're new to this channel, this is the #1 reaction channel for Tupac Shakur. Don't be fooled by numbers. Never be fooled by numbers. This channel's only been running for just under 6 months, and in a shorter space of time, say about 6 weeks, is when we started doing Tupac. Oh, look what's happened over the last 5 weeks. People have started to do Tupac. People are taking notice of this. The difference is that we dissect and we dig deep. What we don't do is just skim through. The last couple of freaking ones that I've done have been hideous, and I don't mean from Tupac's side. Absolutely not. I'm talking from the people interviewing. The one from Vibe, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. So the lady there went with positioned questions that I think she's been asked to say, and you could really feel that, and I think that's where nerves got in. It is Tupac at the end of the day. The Ed Gordon one, I mean, that one's hitting massive numbers at this moment, so people are watching my reaction to that. Apologies, like an hour long, but that's what it's like when I'm dissecting. That I just didn't like. He was there with an agenda. I don't care what anybody says, and you're completely outnumbered if you think any other reason, because it's mad that he was going with the types of questions that he did when there was so much more you could have taken from the interview. Second person, Tabitha. Is that her name, Tabitha? Whatever the fuck her name is, I don't give a shit. That racist prison warden. I've watched both of hers now. I've still got to watch her after Tupac situation thing that she had going on, where she was talking about Tupac after he died and saying that, you know, he made her feel uncomfortable and all that. No. You were making the world feel uncomfortable, love. And what I loved in the second interview is when he was pulling up people who read off cards, and she had those cards in her hand. It was fucking beautiful. It was like my favorite moment ever, to be able to see that and just recognize that he's talking about you. He knew, old prison warden Karen. He knew. So let's get into this interview. I love the interview ones. It's not very long. It's only 8 minutes 31, but in Hector time, that's about 17 years for me to react to it. But I'm excited as always for Tupac when he's interviewed. I think the dude's an absolute legend. This culture journey has gone from strength to strength. I've learned so much from doing these and what the comment section gives. Please remember that I don't know everything. So when I am dissecting, don't judge me in the comments where some people are going hell for leather about what they know and what I should know and blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. Okay, I don't know. I'm learning as I go on. It's only 6 weeks. First week was just fucking getting used to the music and the type of responses that I was getting. So I've only really been digging deep for probably, I would say, 5 weeks, if not just under. And I only do it a couple of days a week with Tupac. So I'm doing my utmost best, but I'm learning a fuck ton as I go along on this journey. And I'm starting to piece everything together nicely. It doesn't matter that it's all over the place. Do not panic. I make sense of when everything comes in through the comment section and the feedback that I get. Anyways, 4 minutes is my introduction. Let's jump into this full interview with Tupac outside the courts. Please be decent.
Hard when they're making it bigger than, you know, they're making it so big now. Even the charges and what they're saying, it's bigger than who I am now. So
what do you think they're doing this for? You were talking in the elevator. What do you think they're doing it for? Why they're doing this to you?
Because, I mean, the way this country is successful is if we have one set of rules and everybody follows them. If anybody gets outside of that set of rules and they're in a public view like I am, you know, it's like detrimental to everybody following the rules if I'm representing, like, to what they think is that I represent lawlessness and the outlaw mentality, and I represent that thug mentality from the street. So they feel like if they can punish me, then it'll punish people who are not as brave as I am, who don't speak out against things like me, who not scared to walk through the streets with no bodyguards. So they need to put me in jail. These other guys, they don't have to put in jail because they can arrest them on smaller things. They can't arrest me on those small things. They got to frame me. They got to do things like this. They got to have, you know, 30 charges and none of them have to do with me. You know what I'm saying? How can if you really, while all these cameras are here, everybody goes something to grow on. How am I gonna forcibly do anything to a girl after she did it to me consensually? And that's not something I'm making up. That's what they said. They said that. The girl came to court and said she did this, she did that, she called my hotel, it was good. She said that, not me. Now, why am I gonna force her? I mean, this is common sense. But no matter what happens, innocent or guilty, my life is ruined. Because when they say, whatever they say in this verdict, y'all are not going to make it front page news. It won't be big enough, no matter what. All that you want to hear is that he's guilty, he's in jail, the reign of terror is over, the outlaw is gone. That's what they want to do. So I'm starting to think, I don't know which story to read. I don't know if this is, about, black and white and loud and quiet, or is it about me and this girl? Because if it's about me and this girl, come on, we shouldn't even be here.
Okay, that is 1 minute 59 in his answer, and all that dude just asked, he question wasn't even strong. It was just like, well, why are you here? Now, it started powerfully, instantly, where he said, but that whole thing, I need to go back and break that down. But what he was basically saying in that is that they have to do this because you've got someone here that broke the rules. You've got someone here that's going to get against the system. So the system is set in one set fucking route. So it's literally bang. That's what you should be doing. Don't you dare cross the line. When people cross the line, then they're getting punished. But because of his influence, proving the point we've been saying in every fucking interview, because of his influence, he's now getting charged double, times 10, times 20, because otherwise people are going to go, hold on, this person knows and he's going off over here, so suddenly everyone can start going off there. So it's easy just to keep throwing these charges. And the frustrating thing, he's saying that the woman has said that it was consensual to an extent. The fact that she was calling him, not the other way round. But then what I loved in his second part of the narrative, he started pointing back the fingers to go, you will take from the front page what you want from this. Now, I just noticed how clever he was when he was talking about the white and black thing. He was making sure that although he put that in there, he wasn't trying to make it like, oh, it's someone who's white versus me for being black. But he's making the point of, I'm going to mention that, but I'm not going to dwell deep because that will change the narrative, and the front page will be talking about that and end up being him being a racist. He's not stupid, but he did enough just to mention that. But then he said about it's the thug, the outlaws and everything else. You're trying to manipulate my name, so then it just throws dirt on there. He said there, guilty or not guilty, he's still fucked because he's going to have that tagged against him, and all those people responding, they're already going to see him as guilty. Fucking hell, 1 minute 59. Tupac, man, I'm taking that back, bro.
When they're making it bigger than, they're making it so big now. Even the charges and what they're saying, it's bigger than who I am now.
So he's saying that that part there was the powerful one. He's saying they're making it bigger, and you can tell the confusion on his face. Why is it being made so big? Why is it being made so massive? All these additional charges being thrown on top of it as well. He's already pitched up on that. It's his coolness in the interviews as well. Not a single word is wasted. Even with that woman that bumped him from behind, and you see him give it a fucking look as well, but never broke character, never broke the speech that he was saying or the words that were coming out of his mouth. Fucking phenomenal.
What do you think they're doing this for? You were talking to the elevator. What do you think they're doing it for? Why they're doing this to you?
Because, the way this country is successful is if we have one set of rules and everybody follows them.
The way this country is successful. Look at the way he's wording that as well. The only way this country is successful is by these set guidelines, these one-way thinking, control. Control is the element that he's saying there. And the minute someone starts breaking those rules...
If anybody gets outside of that set of rules and they're in a public view like I am, it's like detrimental to everybody following the rules if I'm representing to what they think is that I represent lawlessness and the outlaw mentality, and
so clever. He's trying to say he's representing black community. He knows that's the words that people want him to say, but he's so articulate. He's so articulate here.
Detrimental to everybody following the rules if I'm representing to what they think is that I represent lawlessness and the outlaw mentality, and I represent that thug mentality.
He's trying to say that that's what they think, the lawlessness, the outlaw, the thuggish mentality, which he does, but it's a different type of code that it's being pictured as. I'm learning this as I go through. It's the acronym of thug life that is nothing to do with what people assume it's about. It is honestly about some sort of code, and it's a code of respect, believe it or not. But when you hear the word thug, it's easy to manipulate that in the title, is what he's saying. saying there. So someone like him who's being misrepresented, stepping outside of the rules with influence, they got to put their foot on that. That's control again. In it, P. Diddy. In it, bruv. In it, cream puff. Man, I heard that you hid under a fucking a coach as well. No wonder that hit 'em up hurt you, mate. Not as much as your knees hurt when you're on the fucking knees sucking dick, you bellend.
From the street. So they feel like if they can punish me, then it'll punish people who are not as brave as I am, who don't speak out against things like me, who not scared to walk through the streets with no bodyguard.
So he's saying he's not scared to walk through the street with no bodyguarding. They're scared because of the amount of power that he has.
So they need to put me in jail. These other guys, they don't have to put in jail because they can arrest them on smaller things. They can't arrest me on those small things. They got to frame me. They got to do things like this. They got to have, 30 charges and none of them have to do with me. You know what I'm saying? How can you, if you really, while all these cameras are here, everybody goes something to grow on. How am I going to forcibly do anything to a girl after she did it to me consensually? And that's not something I'm making up. That's what they said. They said that. The girl came to court and said she did this, she did that, she called my hotel, it was good. She said that, not me. Now, why am I going to force her? I mean, this is common sense. But no matter what happens, innocent or guilty, my life is ruined.
The dude just knows. He knows what they're doing. He's already got this plot. I mean, how old is he here? 94. What's that? 20-something? Was he going to be 22? Here, something like that. It may even be a little bit later. But still so... And he just knows. He knows. You can tell this is a man. He's like, yep, I can tell what you're doing. Here we go again. Because of the power that I have. You're manipulating a story and you're making it 30 times more power than what it was. Or 30 times more awful than what it was. And it's because of who he is. You stepped over the line, so now we're just going to batter you with anything.
Because when they say, whatever they say in this verdict, y'all are not going to make it front page news. It won't be big enough, no matter what. All that you want to hear is that he's guilty, he's in jail, the reign of terror is over, the outlaw is gone. That's what they want to do. So I'm starting to think I don't know which story to read. I don't know if this is, about, black and white and loud and quiet, or is it about me and this girl? Because if it's about me and this girl, come on, we shouldn't even be here.
So he knows what it's about. He's saying, I don't know which story to read. Is it the story about what's actually happening, or is there a bigger fish to fry of what you're doing here? You're trying to stop my mouth. Because he says about being loud there as well. So he is representing, obviously, black communities when he's talking about either stuff he's experiencing or through the eyes of others. He's on a platform where he's banging out millions with every album that he drops, and everybody's listening to that community. Everybody's listening to what he's saying. It's almost like creating that mosh. It reminds me of that Eminem song, where they're all like fucking marching towards that. That's what he's creating way back in 94. And he's saying, I forgot, I don't know what it's about. It doesn't feel like it's about this, because this is a fucking trumped up charge behind me. This is some fucking, some woman who's phoning up, wanting it, and then all of a sudden they're saying that she didn't. It's a rape charge. So I'm confused, because that you're making it out to be this massive thing, but what's actually happened is something, where it's one word against another. But suddenly it's been blown out of proportion because of who he is. This dude is fucking phenomenal.
Me and this girl, because if it's about me and this girl, come on, we shouldn't even be here.
Coming down the elevator, you complain.
Something like that up, though.
Why would she make something like that up? Because hell have no fury like a woman scorned. You know what I'm saying? I'm guilty of a lot of things. I'm guilty probably of being a male chauvinist pig. I'm guilty of probably not caring as much as I should. I'm guilty of not spending enough time with people like I should. But I'm not guilty of rape. Just because I don't want to be with that girl don't mean that she has the right to say that I did all of these things that I did.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here, man. You can tell this is a man who's rich. This is a man who could change your life forever. But he's saying I'm a chauvinist pig. The dude's a fucking hero everywhere. He could walk into a room and be flooded with people. That's why he's got that slight mentality. We've got to remember that this dude's in his 20s. He's living the fucking dream. Do you know what I mean? He's living the dream. He's single, he's rich, he makes albums, everyone knows who he is. So what if he's pounding through them? I could argue now what's going on before anyone even starts judging me. Fuck me. At least he's trying to keep it behind closed doors a little bit, and I say a little bit. But then what's happened is this lady, and he said, hell have no fury like a woman scorned. So this woman thought she was going to get all that, and he's obviously palmed her. Then she's tried to phone, constantly trying to, speak to him, this, that, and the other, realizing it ain't going to happen, lost all that fucking dream that she's now built in her head, so suddenly throws this charge. What the courts have done is taken that charge and times it by 30 to make it sound worse. They were waiting for that moment, knowing that someone like that would start doing exactly what Puck's going through here. Crazy.
Didn't do, you know what I'm saying? Just because, I mean, of course I can't spend my life with all the girls that I spend time with, but I'm not married, you know what I'm saying? That's not a crime
I just said that.
Promiscuous.
Fuck, I just said that, man. Fuck you.
It's not a crime for me to be with any girl I want to be with. It's a crime for that girl to turn that into a rape charge.
What about the circumstances?
That is fire. That is fucking what I just said, bro. I just said that, man, but I'm glad that you repeated it.
For me to be...
Well, that I repeated it, but I didn't know that you said it, so then you re-repeated it.
Promiscuous. It's not a crime for me to be with any girl I want to be with. It's a crime for that girl to turn that into a rape charge.
What about the circumstances here? Yeah, do you think the circumstances here that is what one discussed? She wasn't prepared, she says, for what happened to her, and it wasn't supposed to happen.
Okay, so she wasn't prepared for what happened to her. Where are those people that did this? They were all in the same hotel as me. They were all right in the same room with me. Why am I the only one in court right now? Why is the cameras all on me? And in the report and all these charges, I didn't do nothing. I'm charged with being in concert with some guys. Well, where they at? Why me? Because I'm Tupac. No, I'm not angry at them. I'm angry at the system. I don't want nobody else to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to go to jail for something I didn't do.
Shows his values there. Where he's obviously angry. And she goes, "Oh, you angry at them?" He's like, "No," and instantly stops her. I'm not angry at them. I'm angry at the system. He's getting charged for being in concert. Being around that whatever she said took place. Fucking whatever she said. You're telling me she didn't walk in that knowing what was going to happen next? Of course not. But then what he's saying there, he's talking about where are they? If they're the ones that did it and I'm just in concert, but he was just about to say I'm Tupac Shakur, that's the reason why I'm here and they're not.
At the system. I don't want nobody else to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to go to jail for something I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to be the scapegoat. I want to be, only way I've been practicing my whole life to live my life is to be responsible for what I do. I don't know how to be responsible for what every black male did. I don't know. Yes, I am going to say that I'm a thug. That's because I came from the gutter and I'm still here. I'm not saying I'm a thug because I want to rob you and rape people and things. I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman because you find me at my places of business. You don't find me up in you know what I'm saying? I don't understand this. I don't understand this.
He's so confused, and that's what he's saying. He's a businessman. He's saying you don't find me in these fucked up places. You don't find me in these places that have no business sense for him to be there. He's saying he'd only be there if it links into what he's got planned. This dude's on a mission. This dude's doing stuff. You got to understand who he is. I think they completely, I know, they completely underestimated his awareness. They completely underestimated things like this in an 8-minute interview. They underestimated that he can seal this, but what they don't realize is that he's got business sense. He's fucking almost 15 years ahead of his own brain, ahead of everyone else's as well, so he can seal this. And that's why you could just hear the confusion in his voice.
About the jury, you talked about the jury. You talked about the jury.
They look at this crowd and they say, here's a rap star, here's an actor. What kind of sex is he engaged in? This isn't safe sex. What do you say to that?
But it is safe sex because in the trial, in the transcripts, if y'all dig deep and be reporters, you'll find out I wore a condom. It was her who sodomized me. It wasn't me who went down in the dance club and ate her out. It was her in the dance club who had oral sex with me. She should be charged, not me. They're making like I'm some big gruesome animal, a sex animal, which is
the charge involves the so-called...
Stop interrupting him. Fucking hell, just trying to get your news story. I want to hear what he actually has to say, you fucking hobbit. So what he was saying, it was her that went down on him. So he could argue. And I see this all the time. Bill Burr spoke about this. So for those who don't know, Bill Burr, the greatest comedian this world will ever see. Second to Bill Burr is Ricky Gervais. But Bill Burr, tippy top, and when he spoke about that woman who slapped him on the dick. And then he just was in shock about that. And he couldn't believe it when she came off stage. And he was saying like, what happens if I fucking slapped you on the tit or whatever it was that he said back? And it's the same thing he's saying here where he's saying it's a different rule. It's a different rule. Well, why isn't she being pulled pulled up on there, if he started doing that, what would happen if he started screaming that out? No fucker would listen. No fucker would listen. Even less so, given the fact that it's Tupac Shakur. No one would care. What they would be doing is digging deep for that other story, man.
No, it doesn't. Does not. But what, if you listen right in there, none of these charges of this gangbang, none of this gangbang stuff came out in the trial. She says people was rubbing her ass, grabbing her ass. Where are these people? Where are these people? No, she said that it's an attempted sodomy. What is an attempted sodomy? If there was sodomy,
Second count.
if there was sodomy, okay, if there was sodomy, why when she went to the doctor wasn't there any forcible entry? Why wasn't her anal? Why wasn't anything? Why didn't they find any of my sperm on the thing? If she's why wasn't any of my sperm?
Because sodomy in some states means oral sex. It's one of the states means oral sex.
Why didn't they find the condom?
You just said.
Why did they find it? On the night we had consensual sex. Before that. Come on, follow me. Follow me.
Let me ask you this about the guns.
You can hear his frustration. He's getting questions from everywhere, man. Just fucking back up. Man, no wonder he spat on you all. You fucking animals.
Get my sperm on the thing. If she's why?
And he's got that. So straight away he's saying it's just because everyone keeps asking questions, fucking with my head, and I'm getting frustrated for him. I want to jump in here and be like, will everyone just back the fuck up? One at a time. Ask questions. Fuck's sake. But then he's saying like, well, why didn't they find sperm? Why didn't they find forcible entry? Why didn't they find, he was going to say anal as well on there as well. He's saying, where are all these things? They're not there.
I wasn't any of my sperm.
Because sodomy in some states means
What's over
oral
here?
sex. It's one of the states means oral sex.
Why didn't they find the condom?
You just said.
Why did they find it? On the night we had consensual sex. Before that. Come on, follow me. Follow me.
Let me ask you this about the guns. What do you think? Are you
sure about the guns?
What about the guns?
That's the other thing that
No, it's not. Has nothing. It's not my liking for guns. What about the NRA? We all have a right to bear arms. I have that. I have that same right as you do.
So he's, and again, that person who just said about your really say your love for guns, something like that, because that's whenever he just repeated there. But you're in a fucking country where everyone can hold guns. Well, why is he being pinpointed for that? That's just another trumped up charge.
Follow me.
Let me ask you this about the guns. What do you think? Are you sure? What about the guns?
That's the other thing that
No, it's not. Has nothing. It's not my liking for guns. What about the NRA? We all have a right to bear arms.
Yeah.
I have that. I have that same right as you do. Just because I'm black doesn't mean I shouldn't have a gun. I have a law legally own guns. I legally own guns. Why would I come to New York and be unlawfully owning 2 guns? Who has 2 guns? Who carries 2 illegal guns? Why?
You were
And mind you, a week before I went to jail with the police. Come on.
What about the jury? You talked in the elevator about the.
So he's saying, why would someone do that? I can hear his frustration, man, and all these people annoying me. I just want to deck them all. This is like a whole plague of that Tabitha. Tabitha, we're going to call it Tabitha, and I hope it's wrong. That's what we're going to call you here, Tabitha. Or I can call you a prison ward, cell block K for Karen. I mean, it's up to you, whichever you want to be called. But this feels like a whole plague of those type of people. They're just fucking cockroaches. They're animals, every one of them. Just looking for that front page story. Every answer he's given, or he's been attempting to give in, is absolute fucking banging. Everything in there, the way he's articulating the information that he's sharing, everything is perfection if they just let him fucking finish.
Guns. Why would I come to New York and be unlawfully owning 2 guns? Who has 2 guns? Who carries 2 illegal guns? Why?
You were.
And mind you, a week before I went to jail with the police. Come
What
on.
about the jury? You talked in the elevator about the jury and the composition of it. You didn't think they understood you. Tell me about that.
I hope they do, Bob. It's hard for me to believe that a jury full of older, more middle-class women are going to understand where I'm coming from, because y'all barely understand where I'm coming from, and y'all cover murders and shit every day, and y'all treat me like I'm New York's most notorious criminal, and y'all know it's people throwing babies out of windows and putting them in the incinerator. All I do is make raps. All I do is rap and talk loud. My biggest crime is talking loud.
This dude, man. He's bang on again, and I don't think it's just him. Obviously, he's being scapegoated here, but this is that cultural piece that you were talking about, where it's a different rule for one and a different for another. I'm totally fucking getting this connection now. This is a massive part of my learning listening to this now. His whole point there's people incinerating babies, throwing them out the windows, mass murder is taking place, and you're treating me almost one step above them, where he is being played this way with whatever's taking place, and he's saying middle middle class. He's saying women, but obviously he's referring to that, but I think he just means in general, older people in that jury that don't get him. And when he spun it around and said, you don't get me, all I'm doing is rapping and you're treating me like some murderer. And there's people killing babies, this, that, and the other. Fucking hell.
Notorious criminal. And y'all know is people throwing babies out of windows and putting them in the incinerator. All I do is make raps. All I do is rap and talk loud. My biggest crime is talking loud. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have nothing else besides that.
Right. Thanks. Tupac for sure.
Who's that with him, man? Who's that dude with him, man? He's fucking huge.
Hey, it beats the black.
I mean, the whole reason I didn't do the spitting and everything is so we can not have this. I appreciate that too. Can you please not block the car? Please, guys. You gonna beat it, baby? You gonna beat it? Hey, yo, dude. Hey, yo, dude. Stay strong.
Bye-bye. Be safe, my brother. Keep your hand up, Tupac.
He said that you know, she didn't.
Wait.
She's a groupie. You were talking about that. What do you think that's all about?
I think she actually probably did go to have sex and things didn't work out the way she expected them, you know, and then she just called rape on him. But I don't think it's fair. I think she should pay for what she done to him.
Who's this lady? Can we give this lady a knighthood or whatever the female version is? It's the same thing, isn't it? A knighthood?
It's a groupie. You were talking about that. What do you think that's...
Look at her whole face, man. This lady speaks the truth. She fucking knows. She knows. Her whole fucking demeanor was just pure honesty there.
He said that
who is this lady?
Wait.
She's a groupie. You were talking about that. What do you think that's all about?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, she's a groovy.
I think she actually probably did go to have sex and things didn't work out the way she expected them, you know, and then she just called rape on him. But I don't think it's fair. I think she should pay for what she done to him.
Amber Heard situation taking place there, innit? I need to know who this lady is. How do we find out who this absolute legend is? 7 minutes 47. We need to understand who this lady is because that's monumental what she's saying there, and everything about this lady screams honesty as well. I'm not saying the last 7 minutes have been fantastic, have been fucking brilliant, but I love that I carried on playing. I was just about to turn it off.
It's called rape on him, but I don't think it's fair. I think she should pay for what she done to him.
You think he's being scapegoated? You know, like he's being nailed just because of who he is?
Yeah, probably.
And what you said earlier, what do you think? I mean, women like that are going for that. I mean,
they're going for sex. Same thing with Tyson, you know. You're going there for something, you know. People don't hang around you 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They constantly call you. You're going for something, okay? And if things don't work out the way you expect them, why would you call rape? You know, you done it. Just go ahead about your business and leave it like that, right?
Okay. And where are you from? Manhattan or Brooklyn or what?
Queens.
Queens. That was my next guess. And let me get your name and the spelling of your last name.
Lady.
Lady? L-A-D-Y?
Yes. Campbell. C-A-M-P-B-E-L-L.
Okay.
Lady Campbell.
Lady Campbell.
Yeah.
In the freaking house, man. What a way to freaking end that. Lady Campbell in the fucking house. Fair play to her, man. Fair play. And that's a great way of ending it. I need to find out. Lady Campbell, please tell me she's still around, because what a fucking great way to end that. She knew as everybody else knew. Proving the point that the culture understands as well. They knew everything on there. They know the type of person that you're dealing with. But what was happening around was this fucking fake charges, these people again that he was saying trying to drag them out of that whole power, where they've got all that power, they know what they're doing, so now you can just belittle them to say that you raped someone. It just sounds awful, and he knows that there's going to be a percentage of people that won't listen to that lady that just spoke there. They won't listen to Lady Campbell. They won't ever hear her voice. They won't ever watch this interview. They won't ever get Tupac. They'll just label, and now he's lost some of that power straight away. Then you put him in prison, you beat the fuck out of him in prison, you start breaking a person, person, breaking a person. That's why he came out slightly differently, but then something inside just snapped, and that's why he came out with more power than they thought they'd beaten out of him. If anything, they gave him more. They gave him more power. They just didn't know they were doing it. Look at it now. 2022, and we're still talking about that. Now you've got some fucking pasty white dude banging on about this as well. Proves the power's still there. Fuck. Let me know your thoughts on that. 30 minutes, fuck off, for an 8-minute fucking thing. Jeez, my bad. Anyways, let me know what you think about that. It's a Tupac interview. I love that, and I always will. Let me know what your thoughts on there, and whether there's anything that I've missed on there, anything that you think should be slightly changed just from the narrative. Again, it's me trying to piece this all together.